This is about power, and what is more powerful than intelligence?
The rhino?
Alright, what is going on guys? It's Tazz here, and welcome back to the channel. Now today what I've got for you guys is a Ratchet and Clank PS5 video. As some of you guys may know if you've been around on the channel for a while, I am a huge fan of the Ratchet and Clank series of games, which started all the way back on the PS2, and now with the full reveal of the PlayStation 5, it was only fitting that Insomniac Games would reveal that they've been working on a brand new entry into the Ratchet and Clank series with Rift Apart. And on the subject of the title, if you ask me, and we are continuing on the trend of Insomniac putting jokes and innuendos into their Ratchet and Clank titles, I'd say Rift Apart is referring to, well, ripped a fart. Get it? It's funny because fart joke. Anyway, we not only received an epic trailer revealing the new Ratchet and Clank game at the PS5 Reveal event, but also some really nice looking 4K screenshots captured on the brand new console, as well as a short gameplay demo with some pre-alpha footage to give us a taste of what gameplay will be like. So as you can probably imagine, when I first saw this trailer and that we would be getting a brand new Ratchet and Clank entry coming to the PlayStation 5, I obviously got super hyped and instantly sold on a PS5 whenever the game releases. It doesn't seem like Ratchet and Clank will be a launch title, unfortunately, like Insomniac's other game that they revealed at the event, Spider-Man Miles Morales, which I am also super excited for as a spin-off or standalone expansion to the original Spider-Man game that Insomniac made for the PS4, which I loved as well. But back to the new Ratchet and Clank, from the looks of things, this game could be going in a couple of different directions. From the environments, planets, art style, and gameplay, at first glance this does look like a return to the future saga of games and the original Ratchet timeline. We see a lot of what we come to expect in those future games, Tools of Destruction up to Into the Nexus, with the types of weapons Ratchet is using, as well as how the gameplay and environmental features look, like the bolt, ammo, and nanotech crates. However, it does seem like Ratchet is wearing the same outfit he had at the beginning of the 2016 reboot game, which has led some to believe that this could end up being a sequel to the PS4 game, which I guess is possible, but if I had to lean one way or the other, I would go with an Into the Nexus sequel rather than a reboot sequel. And that is kind of what I would prefer as well. While I did like the reboot on PS4, nothing can beat the feel of the classic Ratchet and Clank timeline of games, plus from what is shown in the trailer, as well as if you listen a bit to Ratchet and Clank's dialogue from that pre-alpha footage, they do mention Dr. Nefarious being back after many years. In addition to the mention of the Good Doctor, it seems like many classic enemies are returning as well, like the sand sharks from Poketaru, as well as the robot dogs from Metropolis. There was also another reference to Nefarious in the trailer with a hollow statue of him looking all robotic at the end, as well as a sign with some proto-pets on it in one of the dimensions that Ratchet and Clank went through. So my thought with this is that we are either going to see the story pick up from where we left off in Into the Nexus with this interdimensional travel and potentially Ratchet's search for more Lombaxes, or this could be sort of a spiritual sequel to the 2016 reboot by starting in our original timeline post Into the Nexus, and then bridging the two dimensions together through Ratchet and Clank's travels. Either way, with the title being Rift Apart and interdimensional travel looking like a major part of the game, not just story-wise, but also with the gameplay, I think those of us who love the Ratchet and Clank lore are in for a treat with this one. While on the subject of alternate timelines and dimensions, at the end of the reveal trailer, Ratchet and Clank get, well, rifted apart, and Clank ends up in another dimension, coming face to face with a brand new female Lombax. My guess is that she is an alt-timeline, gender-bent version of Ratchet who may even have her own version of Clank. And within that new dimension with the female Lombax, this is where we also see that hollow statue of Dr. Nefarious, so who knows, maybe the Dr. Nefarious in this game is actually from that alternate dimension. With all of these alternate timelines and new Lombaxes, it does make you think, will they potentially bring Angela back into the story somehow and finally put the long-standing debate to rest about whether or not she is in fact a Lombax, and why Ratchet for whatever reason didn't think to ask all throughout going commando. The world may never know. So overall, from the trailer, gameplay, and screenshots, Rift Apart is shaping up to be an amazing addition to the Ratchet & Clank franchise. The graphics obviously look amazing, as the power of next gen allows for super short load times with SSDs, 4K capabilities, and of course ray tracing technology. Ratchet & Clank have never looked better, and the gameplay just looks super fluid as well. Cannot wait for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart to finally launch, hopefully not too long after the release of the PlayStation 5. If I had to guess a release timeline, I would say since Insomniac's Miles Morales Spider-Man game is going to launch alongside the console this holiday season, we should expect Rift Apart to launch sometime probably mid to late 2021, but that's just my guess. I have full faith in Insomniac that they will produce not just a great launch title with Spider-Man, but also an amazing Ratchet and Clank experience with this full-length adventure whenever Rift Apart releases. But with that said, I want to know what you guys think about all of this down there in the comments below. Are you excited for Ratchet and Clank on the PlayStation 5? What other games are you excited for from that reveal event? And what would you like to see regarding gameplay and story from Rift Apart? Let me know your thoughts on all of this down there in the comments below. But until next time, guys, it's been Tazz, and I'll see you guys in the next video.